again with gold for the weekly plan this time, and also maybe the monthly plan for something like gold. Obviously, with Khamenei date, we don't know where gold could go, like how this affects the ensuing war. Uh, is peace talk more going to be more likely, or does this mean more aggression as a retaliation? We don't exactly know. So gold could be a bit like volatile or unpredictable in the coming 24 to 48 hours, as the fundamentals are not that clear. Uh, so yeah, these levels are important. Obviously 51.85, it was the volume point of control where new volume was gathered through the week, on the last week, and the price danced around that level for almost 10 days. uh, um, the value area high from the previous month was 50.90. That's also very important, going to be very important throughout the month. Whether upside or downside, that's going to be somewhat important level. And if there is a very very deeper pullback due to possibility of the war stopping and all that, the 47.40 level is the value area low, which is maybe going to be for the bottom for the month. I don't see us breaking below that. In any case, the price should go up, and we should see kind of a double top forming above those higher levels. So 55 50 uh, or 55 to 60 areas, 5600 even areas could be the top areas for gold in the coming weeks as this situation develops. Similarly, on silver, it's a very similar thing. 87 is the support that we have with the value area high and volume point of control from February. That's the support level for the price. But if we are going higher from here and breaking 95, I think we're likely going to go 105, 107 areas as well. So I'm sorry. That's very important distinctions that are there. And while high risk here, the opportunity is also quite good for further upside on silver. Now coming to some other assets on the indices and and sorry, and oil as well. We'll discuss briefly, but obviously the indices are the US 30 especially is trading kind of at the bottom range. If we see breakdown below, if the price now tenses up with this war and uh, the situation that is brewing, and we break below this area that has been, I would say, near about holding for the last foreseeable time, I think since November. If we significantly break below it, I think there's a lot more room to fall below 45,000, 46,000 areas could be touched upon if this turns into something very negative. Similarly, on Nasdaq as well, we have held as long as we can. I think the 24,600 level. So if that breaks, and when that breaks, I think the downside is quite evident and will be there. Um, I think till these levels of 23,000, 24,000 areas. Uh, and maybe further below. So yeah, we have to be careful about that. The basis is bearish, but until the bearishness is confirmed below the 24,600 area, we are not doing anything on something like Nasdaq. Obviously, there's a lot of noise. The short was mentioned from the higher areas, but at this moment we are kind of in the middle ground, and there's it's generally not better to not do anything on middle grounds. Now, oil on that. I think cusp of breakout if the Strait of Hormuz is not opened, and we see escalations on this Iran front, which obviously has gone into a complicated area again. So it will generally likely to be going up. I think 70, 71 areas are quite important levels. As support levels, though, I think we have 65.5 and 62 areas, sorry, 63 areas, and then around 61.7 areas. These are the main levels of support. I think that will be relevant for the whole month of March until we go below 61.7. We are not getting bearish. So as long as we stay above that, we will stay bullish. Uh, and yeah, that's about it on this oil front. I think apart from these, we also have a possible opportunity in coffee. I'm not very certain about it, but we have been forming a bottom around the value area lows of February of 277, 276. So this is a good area, I think, kind of forming a triple bottom. The price action is not, I'd say, that great, but it's somewhat indicative of support or uh, forming at least a base for some upside in the potential coming days or weeks. The fundamentals also I don't see as clear, as oversupply pressure are there, demand is seen as decreasing and all that. But generally speaking, technically, this is very much poised to do something on the upside rather than following on this I'd say destructive price action path. So yeah, that's going to be something that we can be on the lookout for as well. Coffee longs from 277 to target upside. Uh, I don't see any other assets that are this well set up. I think cocoa is not well set up. If we look at sugar, that's not well set up either. It's only a bunch of noise. Uh, that's not really clear. Copper as well is way high up. We really don't have a particular clear idea on what is exactly going to happen with fundamentals either. But yeah, that's kind of about it on the fundamental side. Now, with respect to what is happening on the FX side, obviously FX side has not been good in the last recent few days, but the patterns that we have seen have suggested that Euro USD is poised for more upside. The GBP USD is poised for possibly more upside. USD CAD is possibly poised for further downside. USD CHF is possibly suggested as further downside, which is started around on Friday. We saw a little bit downside happening as the data came in. So most of that was due to the data, but I think that kind of gives the trigger for the price. But USD CHF is not really the best suited as setup asset as well. So USD CAD and Euro USD and GBP USD would be the main targets here, for this. Uh, and against the US dollar. So basically, we are targeting against the US dollar. Now, what's happening on the yen front is also very important. We saw a lot of noise happening around that 156 areas for the last few days. The persistent noise makes it very unclear about the basic function of the asset as well. But we are now confirmed that value area high around 157.3. That's our resistance for the month, and that's why we are trying to short. So it's a clear plan. Price going there, and we are shorting there, and we are also longing around 153.9, which is 154 areas. So long short areas are clearly defined where we are longing, where we are shorting for the month. And yeah, that's pretty much about it uh, for us to follow. I think this would give us at some point in the week or some point in the month a clear 200 250 pip trade, which will help us move in the right direction on USD JPY and the FX markets as well. Similarly, on GBP JPY, same thing happening. We have defined the range for the week and the month, and as long as we follow that, I think we'll be okay. Any rejection around 212, that's why we short. Any confirmation around 207.5, that's why we long, or even 208.5, that's why we long, because that's the POC as well. For these levels are going to be active for the whole month of March, and yeah, that's something that we can follow overall. Now, what about if it breaks out? So there's this possibility that if it breaks out, then we'll decide. But for the moment, there is not much possibility that is seen. Again, similar to USD JPY and GBP JPY as well, we are confirming our resistance and support on Euro JPY as well. Uh, and when that we are kind of beyond that level, so we're expecting can expect to pull it back inside or just keep moving up from there, which is a possibility. And if we do confirm that level now, so if we do confirm this support or this volume POC as well, uh, we can we can trade a counter trending kind of long on Euro JPY as well. But I'm not very keen on this, as you can see what has happened before. Yeah, so that's pretty much about it on the FX front. There are some cross pairs as well, which are, I'd say, not really well set up, but could be set up for some moves. So one of them being USD Rand, the South African Rand. I think it's possibly set up for a reversal here, maybe, but we are not certain yet. So that's something that we'll keep an eye on. There's also, sorry, this was and GBP and ZD as well, which is, I think, kind of forming a double bottom of some kind. We need to see the reversal, but it's not really tradable yet. Uh, and obviously the AUD JPY trade that you mentioned, if we see the breakout happening, that something is there as well, and then CHF JPY as well. Uh, this is like clearly for forming a double top here around the same levels. Uh, so as long as we can confirm that and like create basis of that, we possibly are open to maybe a short here. Uh, but yeah, I don't think like preemptively shorting is necessary. So this CHFJPY is going to be something that is pretty good as well over the coming week. So yeah, these are the main targets for the coming week and month as well. So some of the levels that I mentioned are going to be very relevant for the whole month. It's not that just this month. It's also the end of the quarter. So March will end the quarter. The first quarter generally ends either in a very bullish or bearish manner. So lots of movements are likely to be seen in March. The indices really have gone nowhere. I think there's a possibility there's a major correction or there's a major upside. So that compression break should happen on the indices. Obviously, what is happening with gold and oil will depend on what happens in Iran, but further upside on both this week at least is expected. Down the line, I think they will obviously try to control oil prices because the US market depends on it. Too higher oil prices doesn't really uh, help the US, and there's possibility that the progress will be made on that ground. But other than that, I think what we have mentioned in here is pretty much bleak for the stock market and obviously good for gold and oil and silver, stuff like that. Uh, but we'll just have to see what happens in the coming weeks. Thank you.